Hey, what's brewing, my buddies? It's me, Joel the Galaxy Witch here. You ever just, get an idea for something that you really want to try out, and you start getting ready for that idea, plotting your path through that, and by the time you actually kind of get somewhere in the middle of doing that, you're just kind of... Because, yeah, that's exactly what happened with this channel. Wanted to do this a good solid year or two ago. Kept on having ideas for it, kept on being like, oh yeah, I can totally do this, I can do that. It's cool, it's fine. I started recording footage for it, did a couple of speed paints, 3 I think, including the spiritual predecessor to what's on screen right now, which was another Meet the Artist, which, if I remember to put the footage on screen, you might actually see a little glimpse of. I actually even started editing it, but somewhere along the way, it just... gone. I still don't know what happened. To this day, it did not happen. But, we're gonna try this again. And I think this time, would you believe that maybe this time it's actually gonna happen? Probably. Maybe. But I digress. So let's just go ahead and get started. Hi, welcome to my channel. You already know my name. I am 26 years old, and a little bit of random trivia time, why not? I am an Aquarius, Pisces, cusp. I was also born in the year of the dog, so if you jam all that together, then I am some sort of weird water mutt with gills, presumably, that you have thrown into an aquarium. Like a furry dolphin. Awful. That's awful. Oh dear lord, that's so bad. I am an INFJ, which is just a real fancy and sort of clinical way of saying that I'm certifiably the mom friend 24/7, 365. That's just kind of how we roll. And Potter House is Hufflepuff, because that already tracks, I'm sure. I got into art when I was real little, like probably right around 5 or 6, I would say. And one of my brothers, who was into designing his own superheroes and stuff, he was drawing. He had these pretty cool mecha characters, and little baby me was just over here like, yo, fam, what the fuck? Let me know that dang shit. I need to know that right now. And so he took me aside and he sat me down, kind of showed me the basics of drawing. The best part of it for me was definitely being able to make whatever I wanted kind of whenever I wanted, which, as a kid with an overactive imagination, was too much power. It was just too much power. I started making really awful comics and stories, but it was honestly a really good jumping off point for me to start delving into creativity. I ended up falling out of drawing regularly when I was right around 13. And then I picked it up again in high school, right around the time that I met one of my best friends who still does inspire me to this day. This is a particular shout out to Butters. Sup? How's it going, my dude? Anyways, I was pretty much drawing every day nonstop at school for my entire high school career. I have no idea how I passed any of my classes, honestly, with how little attention I was genuinely paying. In retrospect, I apologize to all of my teachers. Oh my god. My preferred medium is digital art. I ended up getting a start with that when I was gifted a hand-me-down tablet that had no pen pressure, and I didn't have a program for it, so I just kinda used DeviantArt Miro, which that was a fun time. Shortly after that, my brother got me a Wacom tablet, and oh my god, it made my entire life that much better. And the only issue that I ever had with it was the learning curve, because I was used to looking at what I was drawing as I drew it, And this tablet was, you look at the screen and you let your hand do the drawing, and I could not wrap my tiny little pea brain around that. It took me so long to figure out how to draw lines. But yeah, that really came in handy for learning how to do things a little bit better. Currently, I use a Huion Canvas G190, which I got as a birthday present. It is my child. I love it to death. So, when I first started out, my style was a lot more anime. But nowadays it is, I would say, a bit harder to nail down. I mean, there are still some definite remnants of anime that kind of linger in my artwork, but nowadays I can't say that it is specifically anime. I prefer doing things that are real chunky and bright and thick. But you know, bold lines and saturated color palettes are just kind of my thing these days. One of my biggest aspirations with art is to go to school and try to get into something for game and character design, probably 2D. I haven't had a chance to mess around with 3D modeling, but you know, always a chance for that too, I guess. I really enjoy making characters and that sort of thing. I also do really want to tell my own stories, and mayhaps we can try to do a webcomic at some point. No promises there. No promises there. My head is exclusively very empty, but you know, it'd be cool to do. Speaking of creating characters, I absolutely hit my stride creating more fun characters and designs when I started playing Dungeons and Dragons, or D&D. I have been playing for about 5 years and DMing for 4 of them, and even though my brain is as smooth as polished silver and can never recall exactly how grappling is supposed to work, I love playing it with my friends. Usually we get together at least once a week to hang out and play a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons, you know? That's honestly how a lot of my favorite characters have come about, just through the sheer collaborative storytelling aspects of it. In fact, some of my best stories have come either from the group that I'm in currently or groups that I have left in the past. So, you know, we'll come back to that in a minute. We'll come back to that in a minute when we get to channel expectations. But for right now, let's go ahead and talk about the art a little bit. So, I have drawn myself here with a set of RPG dice. I collect them a lot. I honestly enjoy just having them to look at. Even if I typically play online with my friends, they just spark a lot of joy for me. I think my dice collections are probably up in the 30s and 40s by now. I have this cute little dragon bag that I keep most of my stuff in, and also this little Animal Crossing bell bag that I keep extras in. So my collection maybe has gotten a little out of hand, but at the same time, if it makes you happy. Now, I know y'all have seen that fox mask, and yes, I do actually have that. I kind of got it on a whim, and I ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I would, which is unfortunate because I am a filthy weeb who would probably wear that outside of the house. Not great, but you know, again, kind of like it, kind of a vibe. I do typically wear a lot of blacks and grays like you're gonna see when we get to the coloring stage. Then I usually do liven things up with a pop of color. Fun fact, I think I kind of started dressing like the way that I draw, or I started drawing the way that I dress on my own characters. It's kind of a mixed bag, and I feel like it's 50-50 at this point. I can't tell. I've also gotten myself drawn with this stylus for my tablet, because whenever I'm home, I always have that bad boy on me. And I'm realizing I forgot all of my other accessories besides my earrings. Cool. I normally have a little friendship bracelet on, and also a crescent moon necklace. Now, since we're like down towards the bottom of the drawing right now, normally if I'm just kind of chilling, I don't wear normal shoes. I wear sandals if I can help it. I do also have boots and stuff. It really depends on the day, but most of the time I just rather go out in sandals. They're easy, they're light. I don't typically like feeling very restricted in things that I'm wearing. Though another thing is that I typically only wear tank tops. I am really just kind of like a beach hippie, which is fun because I never leave the house, ever, at all. But yeah, here we are, just, you know, vibing with tank tops and shit. Alright, y'all, let's go ahead and talk about what to expect from this channel. As a forewarning, and first and foremost, I want to say that my channel is primarily meant for adult audiences. I swear a lot, as you've already heard, I'm sure. I will make rude jokes. Sometimes that's just my sense of humor. That's kind of who I am as a person, and I don't really intend to change for YouTube. I am here to do what I want to do, as long as it isn't hurting anyone. Secondarily, I draw boys. A lot of boys. Just a whole bunch of beefcakes and stuff like that. I don't really see that on this platform, so I figured, you know what? Why not? Let's see what we can do. Let's go ahead and do it. It's buff boys o'clock. Now that that's kinda out of the way, if you like original character content or OC content, that is what I'm intending to do over here. A lot of design process, new characters, possibly a monthly in-depth on one of the characters that I already have. Forewarning, a lot of my characters have really, really sad backstories and a lot of tragedies. Kind of a sucker for a good underdog story. So, that doesn't mean that I don't fuck them up real good. There's gonna be content and trigger warnings on any of the stories that I put up for those characters, because oh boy, I did some of my boys so dirty. That being said, I do really enjoy some of the backstories that I've created and laid out for these characters. They are all loosely tied into Dungeons & Dragons content with, you know, character classes and that sort of thing. Though some of them I've adapted to like more modern settings, and some of them do work better in those kinds of things. But in the event that we do get to actually sit down and talk about some of the character backstories and some of the stories that they have, I personally really enjoyed writing them, and I hope that you will enjoy listening to me ramble about my characters for probably 15 to 20 minutes. Another fun thing to do would be character design challenges, which, you know, making a whole brand new playable character for D&D, why not? I will get a forewarning in here because I typically do not play out of the D&D handbooks. I play pretty much exclusively homebrew worlds and have taken a couple of liberties with some of the races and such. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I do what I want. It's kind of an open world thing, and it's kind of an open world system, and I can change things if I see fit. So there's that. If I make 700 tieflings, you know what? They ain't that rare in my standards, so here we go with another tiefling. Another thing to look forward to would be redesigns and redraws. My art style changes a lot. From a year ago to today, it doesn't even look like the same person drew the thing. So there might be some general kind of talking videos when we're doing like a redraw, probably not quite as long. I'm probably still going to make something with the footage that I have from last year. It'll be a redraw of a redraw, so that'll be interesting, I guess. But yeah, it needs some work, so we're gonna keep at that. Last but not least, animatics and story times. I do actually have an animatic that I want to post. It requires a little bit of sprucing up, but I'm still pretty proud of it, and I do want to make more, so we'll see where that goes in the future. Story times. I'm probably going to tell like retail stories, work experience stories. Those are all fun. Couple of life experience stories too, because we've got some juicy ones, I hope. And then besides that, you know, Dungeons and Dragons stuff from groups that I've left. Probably nothing that I'm currently working on or in. Mostly because I have a feeling that most of my group is going to hear this at some point, and I don't want them to have any spoilers. So that's not going to be a thing. Sorry, guys. But yeah, hopefully y'all stick around and enjoy the content that I'm planning. Fingers crossed. If you want to like this, that's cool. If you want to subscribe, also cool. We're just gonna see where this goes. But yeah, that's kind of all I have as far as talking goes. I'm just gonna let it play for the rest of this video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. See ya!